Here you were having to start this true freshman in South Bend for the very first.
Yeah, I really don't remember leading up much to Jake. I was new myself for that. Being in South Bend, always heard about Notre Dame. But he was very calm and very poised, like he always was, and I think he's gotten better and he's improved a lot.
The fans are pumped about this game. Does Notre Dame do something for you guys too, or is it just they're obviously a good program, but do y'all reflect at all on kind of their historical?
Not
in college football? Or?
Not really. We know it's a big game. Fans really love it. They've been talking about it all year. We're excited. I'm excited to see what the fans are going to do, see who shows up. I think they're going to rock the house.
Do you remember what that win did for you guys 2 years ago?
Put us at high up in the rankings, I think, and that was one of the wins that projected us and made us go in the playoffs.
What can you say about Rodrigo? And how much confidence do you have in him? What do you remember when he kind of made that announcement at Notre Dame a couple of years ago that he was on scholarship?
Oh man, just with the win and then seeing Rod be on scholarship, it was all just joy and really excited. One of the happiest moments I was in my life.
Jared, how are you personally different from 2 years ago when you played at Notre Dame? What are you better at? What do you need to work on?
I'm a lot more knowledgeable about the game. When I was first playing, I was new to the system. There's some mistakes that I made that I look back now and wow, I can't believe I made those mistakes. And what I need to work on is just getting my guys going, getting these guys ready and getting their mindsets ready for this game.
Now that you are a senior, you do have a lot of young, really stud recruits out there. Lewis Seen rings out from last week, and it sounds like you like kind of getting guys coached up. How have you taken on that role this year as a senior?
Well, Coach Smart told me, I got to do that, and that's part of my role. And I like it. I love seeing these guys develop. It's something that, Dom Sanders, Malcolm Parrish, Aaron Davis did when I was young and when I was first started playing. So I want to do the same thing and soon for 2-3 years, watch the guys be in my shoes.
I think they installed new lights in the stadium. I don't know if y'all noticed or whatever, but I think it's with this game in mind, to enhance the atmosphere. What can you say about a nighttime atmosphere in Sanford? And I guess that fourth quarter tradition, they're going to lower the lights, everybody's going to hold up their lights. And I guess, when they did that at Notre Dame, the fans held up the phones a couple years ago. What was all that like?
I think that's when the tradition started. So I really like it. It's pretty cool. When you get it on pictures and when you're out there on the field to see that, it's really nice. I like that. It reminds me that, I'm at Sanford. This is where it started. This is who does it, my fans.
As far as energy itself, does that really add an extra charge to you guys at the beginning of the fourth quarter tradition?
Yeah, it brings energy. It just looks nice to me, honestly. Most of the time I see it, and then I'm worried about what we got to do next.
JR, you played in that 2017 Notre Dame game. It's one of your first games actually playing. What do you think that game did to elevate this program to the level it's at today?
Like I said before, it just showed everyone that it's a new era, and it showed everyone when we buy in to a program, Coach Smart and Coach Smart's way, we can be very good. We can be the best team that we want to be. And from the year before, not everyone was bought in. We hit some bumps in the road, but once we buy in, the sky's the limit.
You say not everyone was bought in. I guess you can once you get a big result like that on the road on that kind of stage. What did that do for everyone after that game to kind of buy into what Kirby was selling?
It just says if we do this a certain way, this is what the results are going to be.
Kirby said some of the schemes are similar between this Notre Dame team and the one he played a couple years ago. What are you seeing there that's similar, but also Ian Book providing some new challenges for you guys? How do you prepare for him?
Ian Book, he's a great quarterback. Really, really shows up on film that he loves to extend his plays. He can run the ball really well. It reminds me a lot of Johnny Manziel, and we're going to have to watch out for him and be able to contain him.
What's the biggest problem trying to stop a guy like that?
Well, it's a runner, so you got everything covered, and the next thing you know, he squirts out and runs for 20 yards because everyone's back's turned. So we got to be able to contain him, prevent him from extending the plays and making big plays.
Do you spy him?
I don't know.
Would you? If you were the coach.
Personally, if I was playing Madden, I might spy him.
What's the biggest difference you've noticed between Tyson Campbell last year and Tyson Campbell this year?
He's got his confidence back. This Tyson Campbell, I told him just work on being your confidence back. Next play mentality. Don't worry about what happens before. And so what you saw out there on Saturday was a guy that had his full confidence back.
How would you describe the player you were when you got here? Kind of what you had to go through sitting out a year to where you are now as kind of a leader. And with this program and kind of taking sort of ownership of that defense especially?
One thing I learned when I first got here is you got to be physical to play here in this Georgia defense, and you got to be smart. So one of the things I did, over the years is I became more knowledgeable about the game. Not only my assignment, but other people's assignments. I became more knowledgeable about what my opponent's doing too, and so that's been the biggest thing, the biggest jump I've made.
Do you pay much attention? Obviously, I think you're getting a little attention on the national stage, and people kind of looking at you as maybe one of the top players in the country, a guy who, maybe an All-American at the end of the year. Do you pay much attention to that, or does it leave? It must be a good feeling to think like at least people sort of putting me in that category.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling, but I don't pay attention to anything like that, man. 3 years ago, I was a zero, so I don't really pay attention to anything like that.
What kind of problems does their offense cause for your defense?
The quarterback, he keeps plays alive. He can extend plays. That's one of the things that we got to watch out for. He runs for touchdowns. I saw him against the Louisville game. He did a great job against those guys.
And how about their receivers?
Big receivers, really big receivers. They almost look like tight ends, but they're receivers, and they got big structure and they're fast.
Jerry, you were practicing against Jay before he got his first start, after he got his first start. But how much has he changed since you guys went to Notre Dame, a couple of years ago until now?
He became a lot smarter. That's kind of hard to say because he's already really smart. Became a lot smarter, and he's more confident in his checks and his plays that he wants to call. And he has a lot more confidence in himself.
What's your message to the younger teammates to handle all the hype and anticipation?
Well, just don't believe the hype. And, this is just another game. Nameless and faceless opponents, and we just got to go out there and do our job.
JR, so with Mark Webb, so were you able to see that he kind of cemented his place at the back? When did you see him kind of come alive on the defensive side?
Well, when Mark first came on, he was very physical. And so that was one of the things I noticed from him, and I knew that he could play the star position if he continued to be physical, and he's really good at man coverage. So that's one of the things I always watch from Mark.
Jerry, it's alternate history you don't want to go through, but if Davin doesn't make that sack, if they go down, Notre Dame does 2 years ago and wins the game, and Terry doesn't make that catch, y'all don't get out of there with a win, but it's a close game. Does your season end up any differently, you think, or did that win in that game propel you guys?
Well, I think that was a key win for us, that year. We had to win that game, and that loss was a key loss for them. And I think that win pushed us to the playoffs.
What one thing that sticks in your mind the most, the memory that sticks in your mind the most from that game?
Just the fans, the way the fans traveled to that game. When I walked out there, I was really expecting to see a lot of Notre Dame fans, but I saw a sea of red. And that was one of the most things that stuck out to me.
In addition to the fans traveling, what was that whole atmosphere like for you? You were 2 years younger, and was it difficult not to be overwhelmed?
No, I just always preach to myself, I'm built for this. This is something, you dreamed about as a kid. You're built for this, you're ready for this, so don't worry about all the hype and don't worry about the outside noise.
Also, people forget that Notre Dame was coming off 4-8. But did you guys come out of that saying that's a good team we beat, and it validated you all a little bit?
They're a good team now. That was a good team we beat back then. They went on and they were in the talk for the playoffs for a long time. So definitely, it was a good team that we beat.
What do you want to see from the fans this Saturday?
Everyone show up, show out, have fun. I don't know if it's a blackout, we're black. Everyone get together, do the same thing. If it's a red out, we're red. I don't know.
What do you want?
I want whatever the fans want.
Good. Future politics. Coach was talking about your work ethic today, and said that's the thing he noticed right away that you were sitting out. Where does that? Everybody here is a hard worker, but when you get sort of noticed for that, even maybe a step above, where'd that come from you?
Just my family, my mom, my dad. They instilled that in my sister when we were younger, and just to work hard no matter what you do. You always got to go out there and compete and work hard, and that's where I found the love and passion for just sports. No matter what it is, I can be playing checkers around the house with my family, and where everyone's going to compete, and everyone's going to work hard at that. We can be playing Connect Four, and we're going to compete at that. So it doesn't matter how big or how small the game is, we're going to compete, and no matter what it is, we can be doing a spelling bee. We're all going to study that night before and try to win.
How cool in 2017, you guys obviously win the game, and then you come in the locker room and Rod announces he's won a scholarship. How cool was that for you as a teammate and see him score that?
Well, it's just amazing to add on top of the win. You know, it's a good feeling just to see anyone, and especially like Rod, you know, someone that works hard to get that scholarship. Great feeling.
You talk about a competitive family. When you were a kid, did they ever let you win?
No, my dad is a known do anything to win type of guy. So, you know, he will cheat. He will switch up the cards if you're not looking to win. And my mom is actually really good. She actually wins most of the time because she's just very steady, quiet, and then somehow wins at the end.
Do names like George Gipp or the Four Horsemen, does that mean anything to you? Do you know what they?
Nah, you got to tell me.
Oh, well, these are Notre Dame traditions.
Okay, no,
I didn't know.
I don't know.
I didn't know if you were into the history of.
Have you ever watched Rudy?
Huh?
Did you ever watch Rudy?
Yes, I've watched Rudy. Great movie.
Was he all sides though?
I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that.
You said your mom takes a steady, quiet approach. So leading into this week, obviously there's a lot of noise. You've been through it before with big games. What are you telling the younger guys to kind of stay within themselves and ignore that noise?
I just, you know, one, let them know it is a big game, but it's just another game. You know, you don't want to, you know, simplify it too much to where they just don't go out there. But you just got to let them know, you know, it's just another game in their head. You know, tell them next game, next opponent, names the faceless opponents, and then, you know, this is what they live for. They're built for this.
Jared, do you feel the vibe like from your fellow students or just fans that you might run across about this game? I know you guys are kind of in a bubble here with your game prep, but you know, what's it like to kind of be prepared for this one, knowing that folks outside are going crazy and getting ready for it?
The vibe around campus is it's test week, so that's the vibe I've been getting. Everyone's been telling me that they're worried about the test, then the game. So, but I think everyone's going to show up and they're going to show out, and I expect the fans to be out there big for us.
Isn't one of the changes around the team is y'all have played in so many big games since that Notre Dame game that this one will like get you guys in awe or like anything like that?
I think we played in like 4 or 5 top 5 games back to back last year. So when we played the SEC championship game, so we're used to games like this. You know, this is what you come to Georgia for. You're built for games like that. That's what I preach to my guys. You know, you're built for this. This is why you came here. So you know, you gotta let them know this is just another game. Go out there, have fun.
But early in 2017, that was kind of like a new phenomenon, having that such a big game. So was it almost like, maybe not a shock, but like, was it like kind of a very, like a launch pad, like, because this is the first big game, you know?
Did we play Mississippi State before then?
I think it was the second game.
After? Yeah, you know, it's a big game. And last year, I mean, what was it, 2017? Yeah, it was a pretty big game, you know. Like I said, it kind of launched us toward the playoffs and kicked off our season.
How do players feel about home and home big time matchups like this? You know, with big time programs out of conferences hooking up. Like, is that something that's good for college football in your opinion?
I know what you're trying to get at, but I love playing games at home. You know, I love being in Sanford Stadium, and anytime I can be here, you know, I would love to play all my games here. But, you know, can never get that.
You talk about the growth of the corners. I know Tyson came out. We're not real sure about his health, but how about all those other guys who've come along, Tyreek, DJ, where they're at as far as their level of play?
I think, you know, Tyson, you know, he's gained confidence, so then he's able to teach those guys what he's learned, and then I'm able to teach those guys. And as long as we can, you know, instill and be focused on the same goal, everyone's going to get better. And we got so much depth that everyone's competing to be better.
What's the challenge with Ian Book and Claypool and their passing game and Book's feet as well?
You just got to contain Ian Book. You know, he's going to run. He's going to extend plays. Like I said before, it reminds me of Johnny Manziel. So when he scrambles, we got to plaster our guys, and we just got to handle him.
How has their offense changed now from 2 years ago?
It's changed a little bit. You know, Ian Book, you know, with the somewhat, some people consider better quarterback, but you know, I think he's a great guy out there. The receivers are pretty big, like they had last time we faced them, and you know, they prevent some matchups.
With Rodrigo getting that scholarship after that game, was it kind of like did he overshadow Fromm in his first start in the locker room, or did y'all kind of like, you know, congratulate Fromm as well?
Nah, we were just happy for Rod, man, and we're happy as a team win.
So when do you, I guess, let the lion out of the cage, JR? I mean, you're with us, and you're pretty calm and cool and collected, but on the field, you're a different guy. When does the adrenaline boost really start for you in earnest before a game like this?
Saturday, right before this game gets started. Once I lock in, you know, take my ride, go through my pregame routine, and I get ready.
After you put the pads on, or does it happen when you step in? I mean, I guess it's simple.
After I get done talking to my dad and we're bussing on over there, it's time to go.
Besides that, what is your pregame routine? Like, what music do you like to listen to beforehand?
Oh man, I got a long pregame routine. So say it's Saturday, I'll wake up early, I'll watch 1 or 2 games, play the game before in my head, get some early riser breakfast, lay down, talk to my parents, go get some treatment, talk to my dad again. And then now we meet, get on the bus. I got to go to chapel first, though. That's the first thing I do. Then we get on the bus, start listening to music, and get going. Time to go.
Will you pull up the 2017 game in preparation for this one at all, or not?
Most definitely. You want to see what you messed up on that game, see if, they might want to copycat some plays from then.